What's up, everyone? Dempsey Roll here, aka Rayo, and I'm back with some model building. Let's take a look at this Figure Rise Effect kit. I showed this earlier when I bought it. Again, I kind of just bought this because I thought it might be fun to mess around with, and it was fairly inexpensive, so why not? But yeah, this is from Bandai. Figure Rise Effects, a new effect stand for Figure Rise Standard. So I actually don't have a stand handy on me now. I do have one, but it's in storage, so I'll have to kind of dig that up again. So some of these effects, we can't really get the full effect, so to speak, until I can really get a base going. But for now, we can actually just mess around with it. It comes with like, it seems like this is more oriented towards like close combat effects rather than like effects that would come out of a gun, or like, yeah, like the effect parts for getting shot at or explosions. That's something I'd like to get too, but this seems more based around, yeah, close combat. But anyways, I just thought it'd be fun to mess around with. There's rocks, and then like a power wave like Geese Howard, and then maybe like a slashing wave kind of thing. And this also comes in yellow, which I think is pretty cool, and this is clear, but I wonder if yellow might be better. I don't know. Anyways, let's open this up and see. Where is my box cutter? Yeah. So we've got three frames, and then the instructions. Oh, there's some little bits inside here as well in the bag. So maybe we'll make sure not to lose these bits and put them in a little container for the time being. Hopefully that was all of them and I didn't already lose something. Let's get the instructions out. Yeah. Oh no, there's a lot. There's a couple more things kind of loose in the bag. This could potentially be the tip of something that has kind of broken off, but we'll see. It's not a big deal. I guess I could just glue it back on or something. All right, let's take a look at this. Instructions. Let's read carefully. Read the following instructions before use. This product is for 15 years old and up. Okay. Definitely older than that. Small parts. Never cover your face with the plastic bag. Okay. To avoid suffocation. I think I want to avoid suffocation, so I'll keep that in mind. Pay attention to sharp parts and edges. Sure. All right. So yeah, step 1 is get this thing that is actually not included in the set. Bandai Plastic Model Action Base 5. Yeah, like I said, I have something along these lines already, but I might end up just getting another one the next time I'm in the hobby store. Although a lot of model kits do come with these stands. I don't know if they come with stands with holes in them already, but yeah, I might have to look into getting that. So let's go on to step 2. Oh, I guess I'll need my my stuff here for model building, not painting. Slightly adjust my setup here. All right, first let's do something. Here we are. Okay. So step 2, pay attention to sharp parts, careful when handling. F1, 2, and F1, 1. Oh, okay, interesting. There's something kind of more to this, but we'll get into that. F1, 2. F1, 2, and F1. 1. Okay, this is 1. This is clear plastic, and I'm kind of a little concerned with the strength of this plastic. My feeling is that it kind of tends to be a little more brittle. So I'm going to be very careful about removing it and cutting it away. That was 1, and now we need 2. F1, 2. It's a little harder to see the numbers because it's clear plastic. This is 2. Okay. Yeah, the feeling of cutting into this seems very different than the feeling of cutting into normal ABS plastic. I think that's the plastic that they use for model kits, right? I'm actually not sure. It's ABS or styrene. All right, so now we got to clean these up, and again, I'm a little nervous about cutting close to the actual plastic here. Just leave a bit of the nub and kind of, oh my god, parts are flying all over the place. You know what? Before I started streaming, I was just cleaning up a bit around here and my floor, and I found all these little nubs just everywhere. They fly around like crazy. Which is Bacon was telling me how the God Hand kind of minimizes the amount of nubbage, flying nubs. Okay, it seems like it's okay to cut closer to the plastic, so I tested it out just now, so let's do so. I'm also kind of curious about sanding this material when it's clear plastic. Like, it's gonna be kind of frosty at the end, right? So in that case, you would probably need to use some kind of like a very fine grit, or like a buffer of some kind. Use a buff, or actually, in the Lego world, there's a tip that I picked up on. You can use a future floor wax or anything. It's not wax. Future floor polish, something along those lines. And you can, in the Lego world, if you have clear plastic parts that have gotten scratched over time, especially from older figures, you can use that stuff, and it ends up being like, you end up getting back to a really nice shiny finish. So that's kind of interesting. Might need to use that. But I'm also kind of considering painting this stuff too. I'm not sure, because it might be kind of neat to paint like these things and make it look really cool. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to file, but not be to really only file the area in question, because I don't want to create like a frosting effect all over the general area. This is something I haven't really thought much about, but now that I'm doing it, I'm kind of like, I don't know what's the proper strat. But let's carry on. We can kind of, if I find a more discrete piece to kind of clean up, we can experiment with getting with sanding down for that. Okay, so let's see this. These shapes are so weird and crazy. I don't even understand which is the correct orientation. Like this? Aha! Something like this? I think I understand. especially when these shapes are just so wild and crazy. It's hard to kind of make sense of it. I think this is it. I think that's it. Oh, it kind of clicked. Clicking is good. We like clicking. Clicking. Oh, there's another click. Okay. Okay. Ta-da! Power Wave 1 done. Now, there's something else about these blocks. Does it tell us when are we to put together these blocks? Not really, but it is saying that right here, each of the G parts below can be applied in the same way. So we can take these blocks now. This is the G frame, and all the pieces from 1 to 8 can be placed kind of into this power effect. So how about we actually just take out all of these now, and I can do a pretty decent job of cleaning these up at least. Oh, okay, and these blocks don't really assemble. They're just it seems like they're only kind of rocky on the one side. They're not really meant to be viewed in a 360 kind of way, if I'm understanding this correctly. Yeah, they don't necessarily attach. I thought that was the case, but no. Well, we can actually just do this. No big deal. Pretty easy. This could be poo. This could be poo. Gunpla, plamo, modular, duty. You'd think that they'd cast this in like a gray color for rocks instead of brown. Alright. Nub time. House of Flying Nubs. That could be the name of my my series of Gunpla and Plamo building models. House of Flying Nubs. Oh, they're flying everywhere. I'm trying to make sure they don't fly by just kind of putting my finger. There you go. There we go. You know, as I said, I've been watching videos about building models and the different kinds of models out there, but at the same time, it's not that useful at this moment in time to look into all the models that are actually out there and pick and choose the ones that I want, just because, especially if I'm limiting myself to just the ones that I can find at retail locations, you know, shopping locally is a good thing. Supporting local stores. Yeah, I'm not beyond buying anything online, of course. In fact, I've been considering buying some models, some Warhammer models online. But yeah, it's like if you shop locally at the local stores, I mean, you're just kind of just relying on what they have, right? And as far as the one place that we've been to thus far that has models, Hobby Center, they have a decent amount of models, but not like a super huge selection such that I could find something that I'd want online and then like through YouTube or whatever and then be like, yeah, that's the one I want to find and I'll buy it at the store. No. But my understanding is that that's more or less the case with the hobby, with Gunpla in general at this moment. It's a lot of people are looking for kits, and it's just hard to find, even when it does come to online stores. It's just hard to find, and yeah, Hobby Center actually does have an online store too. So I was just browsing through their store there just to see what they have, and it was like, oh wow, there's a lot of stuff that they maybe had, and it just says sold out now. Sold out of this, sold out of that. So yeah, just kind of have to go with it really if I end up going to another Gunpla store, because yeah, that was kind of my thinking originally was well, okay, let me just look into what's out there and see what I want. But in reality, you're kind of limited just because there's like a shortage nowadays with models. But the Kotobukiya MSG stuff, the model supply goods, that was really fun. And yeah, it was fairly inexpensive. It was about $650 or something for a gun, and the gun could have some hand-to-hand weapons added onto it. It's like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm down with that. Now I'm trying to trim this area. Okay, kind of smooth. I guess you're always just going to be able to see a little bit of a nub. And, was there another nub? Guess it's not that visible. Alright. Okay, so. Bacon and you can't exactly sand these things? No. Yeah, so you're always going to have the faintest bit of a little nub mark, I guess. Okay, so it says here apply. Each of the G parts below can be applied in the same way. So yeah, we can stick G3 now. I don't actually recall what's G3, but it doesn't really matter. The point is... Ooh, what's this? Hold on a second. Oh, a nub got inside the rock there. Yeah, you can apply these little rock things as if it's kind of like breaking away, destroying the ground. Now I kind of want to get like a Dragon Ball guy to really make use of this. This stuff would be really useful for a Dragon Ball, one of those Dragon Ball type characters. Look at that. It's like speed lines. It's like this poo-poo is dashing or something. All right. What's next? Two. Oh. Hold up. Oh, okay. It's effectively the same. The next part here? I think so. It's pretty much the same. 9? Okay. This is 7. Okay, well, it kind of seems like they just figure that you understand 5 and 7, that you understand where this goes and how it works for this same piece. Oh, okay. Okay, now I see it here. Ooh. Yeah, I want to cut away more further away from the plastic because it's so brittle, this stuff. So this was 5, and then we gotta get 7. If there's a smaller effect piece, maybe I'll try and paint it. Oh, that shattered, that like cut away and it kind of shattered. Yeah, if there's a smaller effect piece, maybe I'll try and painting it. See what that's like. Oh, is there one really though? Magikarp? Maybe comparing these effects with a Magikarp model might be fun. That actually does sound kind of fun. Magikarp, and then get a Gyarados too. Ooh, oh my god, the flying House of Flying Nubs. Actually, I was watching a video again from Zaku Aurelius showing how to make your own homemade effect parts. That was kind of neat. You can actually just take any clear plastic, like the plastic that's from, you know, like a food container or something. Just like draw out the shape you want. Like he drew out like this general flame kind of shape, and then you take a lighter, right? This is the kind of dangerous part. You take a lighter. Oh well, in between those steps, you cut out the shape, right? And you take a lighter and you just kind of soften the plastic, right? You're not looking to melt it completely. Just introduce enough heat so that it starts to bend, and then you kind of bend it into shape, leave it alone, let it set and cool down, and then do a next part, da 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 da. Keep on doing that, and then the end result looked actually pretty nice, like this flame, this kind of like twisting flame effect that he made. And he took his airbrush and he used transparent paint to kind of like keep the clearness of the plastic, but just introduce a little like tinting to the plastic, like colored effects. And then he, the only reason I'm thinking about it now is because you mentioned Magikarp, because he had a Mew, Pokemon Mew model, and then he put on the model, surrounded by the flame, and it looked really nice. Sup, bruv? Goro's here. What is up, Goro? Bacon, yes there is. That's cool. I just like the idea of a harmless creature with badass effects. Yeah, I mean, you can't get any more harmless than Magikarp. The whole Magikarp turning into Gyarados thing is based around like Japanese folklore, though. Am I correct in saying that? Because I was looking up the sort of history in the background of Ichiban's tattoos in Yakuza 7, and he has a carp. He has a carp on his back, right? And one of the sort of like the big bad guys that you ultimately fight is a guy who has a sea dragon tattoo, right? I don't know if you want to call him like the final boss, but he's kind of like an important battle for Ichiban to overcome, right? And so the connection there is, because I was doing my research, they never explicitly tell you this in the game itself, was that's based off of like a folklore that the carp, or rather, just a quick correction, Ichiban's tattoo isn't the carp, it's actually a sea dragon, like a half-formed sea dragon. It's sort of like this transitionary state of a carp turning into a sea dragon. And again, that all goes into this lore, this folk tale or whatever, about like a carp turning into a dragon. And that's sort of the arc that Ichiban takes, right? He's this useless guy who eventually becomes a dragon, and we know that, you know, spoiler warning, he fights you know, a certain other well-known dragon, and yeah, he's sort of on his way to becoming a dragon himself, and then yeah, that kind of set off a little like chime in my head, like, oh wait, that's like Magikarp. Bacon, can't say I'm too familiar with that lore. Goro, nothing much. Bacon, bruv. Chilling here and reading some DD comics. That sounds good. What DD comics? I feel like at this point, Goro, you've already read the Miller stuff, right? I know that Kevin Smith's Daredevil arc was pretty noteworthy at the time. I don't know how well it stands up now, but it's pretty noteworthy at the time, as well as David Mack, his arc that came after. Okay, I'm confused again. Yeah, this is the floor, right? And then this part goes which way? I've already forgotten. Okay. So if we follow this... No. Is it? It's more like this, I think. The instructions are a little... Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Again, these shapes, they're just so... They're so wild and out there that it's a little hard to understand how it all comes together, but yeah, I figured it out. There we go. The instructions for this particular step show you it already assembled because they assume that you're smart enough to do it because you've built the mirror side. That's a big assumption about how smart I am, Bandai. Hence the name of the game, Like a Dragon. There you go, Like a Dragon. Yeah, I mean, it was the name of the series, right? That's the actual name of the series, and yet only it took the 7th game for America, North America, to kind of jump on the bandwagon and get the proper name there. Okay. Yeah. But you can put it on this side. I feel like they want you to kind of put them on the other side there. Yeah, and I'm being a little extra cautious about slotting these pieces in because I don't really want them to be firmly placed in, because again, as I said, this clear plastic is kind of brittle, so and ideally I'd probably I would not leave the parts inside. Like when I'm done with this stuff, I'll take it out because I don't want to leave that in. There's like I know with Lego that the clear plastic parts have a higher tension point. Like there's more tension when you put stuff into there, rather than the normal ABS plastic that Lego uses, where there's a bit of like if you take the hands, for example, when you put like a piece of equipment, a gun, in the hand of a Lego model, it kind of snaps around. That's because it has a good amount of flexibility to the plastic. But this stuff here, which actually I think it says what kind of plastic it is somewhere here, but maybe not in English. Yeah, product material PS, polystyrene, and ABS. So I'm thinking this is polystyrene, this colored plastic, and then this might be ABS. I could be wrong. Bacon, yeah, that's the name of the actual Yakuza games. Yeah. And what was it? I think it was Resident Evil 7 in North America. They called it Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And then we had to get to, yeah, that was like, isn't that interesting also? Like, it took the 7th game from that franchise to get to a point where they were going to call it Biohazard as well, or use the name of the actual original Japanese game. Biohazard. Okay, what do we need here? H3 and F13. H3. Okay, here we are. Oh, this, oh, Oh, it actually says here ABS. You know, I keep these little tabs, by the way, these little letters. I keep them because if I ever get around to like wanting to spray paint graffiti or some kind of extra detail, you can actually attach these to something and then spray it if you have a spray paint or an airbrush, and it's like a stencil. So yeah, that's why I keep all these letters. I have a little box filled with letters. 3. Very clean. That kind of came off nicely. And now we need F13. F13. Okay, so it's big explosion. Sorry, F23. I was looking at, I saw that Ricestream posted up pictures of his Mandalorian model in progress. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting that that Bandai are making these kits. That's pretty fun. Too bad that they aren't widely available in most locations. You kind of have to go to specialty store or whatever. Because yeah, they look pretty neat. The Mandalorian that he's working on, or Din Djarin, he has a cloth cape, which I really like. Like, I don't know, something about a cloth cape just seems really fun to me. It kind of takes that model to almost like a doll kind of category, you know? A lot of dolls are made with cloth materials, and it's just kind of like a fun little addition that makes something that is you would normally think of as a action figure / model kit. It's kind of like going into a different territory there. All right. Okay, wait, so how does this go? Where does this attach? Oh, okay, I think I understand. There's a slot down here, and this goes something like this. Oh, okay. And then you can attach this to the action base. Again, I don't have that at the moment, but you can kind of get different angles. This could be a cool little blast. Something like this, maybe. That's cool. I think I might have a lot of fun messing around with this stuff. Look at that. Cool. All right, let's detach that. And it says something here. F23 can be applied. F23 can be applied in the same way. Oh, okay. So there's another F2. This is F23. Oh. Oh. Okay, I've just had a moment of realization here that this, if you split this in half, this is F1, and then this is F2. This should be split apart, actually. Yeah, I thought this was all F2, but actually, yeah, over here we have F2, and over here is F1. So I actually did this a little bit out of order, but that's fine, because it's generally the same shape anyways. Oh, I just was thinking of something as well. I was saying how I might try and play around with coloring this stuff, painting it, but lately I've been getting into taking pictures of models with LED lights, with colored lights. Now, you guys are probably familiar with this kind of thing, like, you know, it's got a bunch of different colors that you can change your light with. And I've been using that as well as two normal lights to create different colors. Actually, I have a secondary LED light as well to take pictures of my models, and it's actually been really fun messing around with that because if you have just plain unpainted models like this, you can take photographs of them and they're a lot more interesting when you kind of cast some light on them to kind of bring out the details and use other kinds of light, multiple sources of light, shadows, just to bring out the detail of the model that, you know, an otherwise just plain white model like this, plain primed model, or gray plastic would just be kind of flat and boring. But I think I could apply the same thing to this stuff, and we can get some cool lighting effects coming in through the sort of refracted surfaces. As you can see here, it's, you know, there's all sorts of sort of planes, and when you shoot a light through there, okay, tell you what, I'll cut these all away, and then maybe we can try it out here live. Not guaranteeing that it'll work out well, just because of the lighting setup I have right now isn't really set up to do that, but we can try. So yeah, this was. So what's the difference here? Hold on. Where's that stand thing? Where'd it go? Okay. I don't understand. What's the difference? Don't they look the same? Are they different? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. Okay, I was thinking there might be some slight difference, but yeah, they're the same. Interesting. Okay. Now we need to take H1. These are all the parts. This stuff might be useful for other stuff, other purposes as well. Just these extra arms to kind of get more angles for your poses or whatever. Ooh, House of Flying Nubs. Flying Nubs. Okay. Oh, is this a nub? Oh. Nub. Alright. So now we can take that this extra arm piece. This is actually another beyond just the effects part. I feel like these extra arms could be very useful for posing your Gunpla and stuff like that as well, or other model kits. Okay, that goes in there, and you can attach. They're saying G7, but basically, okay, you can attach them different ways. And you can there you go, guys. There you go. Look at this. Articulated rock. So you can have the rocks being kicked in many, many directions. So far, the only thing that my initial kind of complaint about this stuff is that the rock here is only intended to be viewed from one side, because the other side needs to have this opening port here so that you can attach stuff to it. But I kind of don't like how it's only viewable from the one side. I'd rather have like a fully kind of 3D rock that's viewable from both sides. So in that sense, I feel like this stuff, these rocks in particular, might be good for photography, but not not like playing with, I guess, is what I want to say. Now let's see. Create your own combinations. The possibilities are endless. Oh, okay. So they say you can actually detach. Oh, let's take out these rocks here. Oh, you know what? Let's get a little tray going on. Can get an extra tray now to be a little tidy, and put all our finished parts. Put our little rocks here. Let's move this knife aside. Don't want to accidentally slash myself. Yeah, let's get these rocks. My little container filled with brown, lumpy pieces of plastic that look like poo. So it looks like we can attach this. Let's see if I can get away with not taking out the extra part here. Yeah, because it says here, create your own combinations. The possibilities are endless. You can attach these parts. Onto F2. F2. Okay, let's get F2. Let's put this here. F2. Is it time for a cleanup? I think it might be time for a quick little cleanup here. F2. Wait a sec. What is F2? Oh, did it fall out already? I think it may have fallen off. Could be one of these things. Yeah, it is. It's looks like a little fire hydrant man kind of thing, if I'm seeing this correctly. F2. No, this is H. Man. Oh, okay. This is F26. Okay, understood. F26. Yeah. Okay. Let's try and clean this guy up. Okay, well that actually ended up being pretty easy to tidy up. And now we need H1. This is H. Is it not? Yes, H. Here's 1. We need 1. H1, yes. Oh, there's multiple H1s. And yet they're the different size. What? Yeah, the length of this one is longer than this, and yet it's all H1? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's get the measuring stick here. Let's get the 6.25 centimeters? Oh yeah, it is the same length. It for some reason my eyes are telling me that one in the bottom is actually longer, but no, it's the same. That's weird. Mikazuki, how is it going, Mikazuki? What is up? I was painting some of my Eldar jet bikes earlier, and we're making pretty decent progress on them. Probably gonna continue painting them later tonight, and then yeah, the next time I stream I'll probably try and finish them maybe? I'm not really sure how much more I'll do for them. Okay, we need another H1 part. H1. And we also need a H2 part, which has already fallen. Going well. It's a bit late, but it's all right. Oh, okay, yeah. I usually stream around the time where you're like just about to go to bed or something like that. But I appreciate you coming in, dropping by, saying what's up. Okay. Okay, so let's see if I'm understanding this correctly. So there's a number of these weird kind of like in-between parts that kind of look like teacups or fire hydrants, and they can be placed in different ways to kind of get unique angles, which I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to get a unique angle here. Okay. How did they decide that these would be the shapes? It's so it's just so unusual. Okay. Put this here. Mikazuki, it's 9:15. Getting a bit tired. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. It's usually pretty late by the time you make it over to my stream. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate it. So yeah, you can put these this kind of blast effect like this kinda, which I'm not fully understanding why you would want it this way. But there it is. And again, they have all these funky angles that you can use. They just tell you that you can do it any way you want, not that this is the official way that these effects should be placed. It's just that it's a suggestion, and you can kind of play around and mess with it. Maybe we can take a look at the picture, the instruction picture, or rather the outer packaging, to see and get some ideas. Now, there's only one more effect part that we need to get, and it's this one, and it looks like this one is placed on the ground. I feel like I should have bought like a Dragon Ball guy or something to really sell this idea. But maybe if anything, I'll make another video. I'll buy something and we can make a video where we can play around with this stuff, because it is pretty cool, pretty interesting. All right, so these frames are complete. We've fully harvested all the parts from that. And let's get to it. Get to the cleaning. Oh, House of Flying Nubs. There's that Jet Li movie that came out a little sometime after. Was it Jet Li? Actually, I kind of forget now, but sometime after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like, that movie really kicked off a revolution in, like, I don't know if you want to say like martial arts cinema, that was, you know, trying to like, I don't want to say elevate the genre, but just kind of like try to emulate that sort of sophisticated approach. And House of Flying Daggers was kind of from that era too, just trying to sell you on this idea of a more like, yeah, fancy looking, maybe martial arts opera. Okay, and we need another weird fire hydrant shape. Okay, so yeah, so I bought this. When I bought this, I also bought the MSG Modeling Supply Goods weapon pack, which I have here in another container somewhere. Here in this container. Yeah, got all of that here, and I really enjoyed that. This one here, this weapons effect thing, it's definitely more of an accessory to your model making, but the actual like build of making this stuff itself isn't all that interesting. It's just a bunch of funky looking plastic shapes, clear plastic shapes and effects, and yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you can actually make your own effects if you really wanted to. So yeah, definitely not super important to buy, but I do want to kind of get something where I can mess around with this and take some photos. That's going to be the fun thing, is taking some photos, I think. I'll definitely paint the rocks at least, because they're just like a flat, lumpy poo color. So this piece actually kind of... Wait, is it this one? This one actually broke a bit in the packaging. And again, this stuff is quite fragile. I noticed this extra piece in the packaging, and here it is. I can glue that back on, no problem. And maybe this might be the piece that I paint, because it's been broken. So I can glue that back on and just paint it and see how I can make this look a little different as a painted piece. And you can see that the plastic looks a little more distressed here down the center. Something happened where, yeah, a lot of pressure was being put on the model, and I don't seem to remember it breaking when I bought this or in transit or whatever, so it may have been broken like just already from the start, but it's just the one piece, so it's not that bad. Baking, it's what you do with them afterwards. That's fun. Yes, yes. It's the fun afterwards. I really want to get more mech girls and these effect parts to mess around with. Yep. For sure. I'm definitely going to... Yeah, I almost feel like I've kind of narrowed down what Mecha Musume model I want. I was talking about earlier how it's kind of hard to think about what model to get if I'm limiting myself to just getting stuff at retail. But yeah, I showed you before, right? It's like they're actually not mecha girls at all. They're just like the one that's just like a straight up normal girl. I kind of like that one. And actually, I think you guys were looking at that on your stream as well. Some more examples of that. Kind of want just a normal ass girl. But we'll see. I feel like I kind of need to, not that I need to, but I feel like I should buy a normal ass Gunpla, right? Just to see and feel the modern building experience first. I feel like I should. Okay, so we can attach these blocks, any block you choose. Let's get a big block. And they're saying you can do that. Look at that. Bacon, I want them all. I want them all. I'll send you a link to that Chinese one that I was looking at. I was talking about earlier, the ones that's like exclusive to China. It's pretty interesting. But again, it's not like it's going to be easy to get. But yeah, this could be like a rock that's just about to... It skipped off, like it bounced down. And then it's flying off, something like that. The rock kind of bounced and then is skipping off in some direction, something like that. And if you had a model that's punching the ground, just something like this would be pretty sweet to like the effect of punching the ground, right? The one riding the funny looking vehicle is really neat though. Oh yeah, I remember that one being shown. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's take our little dude, our little security mech, and try and make him do the Marvel landing pose. The Marvel superhero landing pose. Something like that, right? That's kind of like the Marvel superhero. He needs a little suggestion of a head. Let's, where's his head? It's actually not his headpiece, but I call it a head. Okay. It's pretty cool. Look at that. I'll try and orient this a bit towards the camera. Goro, wow, cool. This is pretty fun to mess around with, even for some basic guy like this. You can imagine it with like one of those Goku models, or you know, like a fighting martial arts Gunpla or something. You can have the effects. What else? Oh, how about the power wave? Power wave. Yeah, but these actually would be pretty fun for action figures, right? Just dodged a credit card scammer. Uh-oh. What happened? Goro makes a huge difference. Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Batman. Yeah, you could use these for like action figures, like real action figures, and get some cool effects. This reminds me of like a King of Fighters kind of move. Let's see. Where was the one where you could have like a... I want to be a little careful as I'm bending this stuff around, because I don't want to put too much pressure on this plastic and then end up breaking it. Let's try and get him to punch this rock. It's the perfect music. This is posing music. I'm not the best posing guy out there as well, I should note, as you can clearly see. I'm just kind of messing around. And the articulation on this model is a whole lot more limited compared to, you know, like a real grade or a master grade or something like that. Rock. Where's the yeah, this, you can attach multiple effects and then like how does this work? This one here, yeah, it would definitely be more useful to get an action base as well to kind of help with that. Let's take a look here. Oh, let's actually catch up with the chat. Goro, Nightbot to Night Trap. What Metal Sonic is to Sonic? Well, Nightbot is a commonly used bot that a lot of streamers use just to you know, do some notifications and stuff. Yeah, I remember someone actually thought that Night Trap was a bot because they thought that the name is kind of similar, but nope. Although Night Trap did help me set up Nightbot, so shout out to Night Trap. Goro, the credit card scammers call me and don't even verify that it's me, so I know it's a predator. A predator who has my information and is fucking with me. And they called right as the film Identity Theft came on the Hotel Movie Channel. Oh, that's funny. So I tell them to fuck off and call my company, as Jason Bateman is doing the same thing on TV. Yeah, let's take a look at some of these examples. Look at this. You can have the guy punching and it creates like a power wave in the air, like an echoing power wave. And then you can have the sort of like the effect going around his foot, sort of showing the tension and the torsion going around like the hip movement or something like that. So that's kind of cool. Or yeah, like kind of like what I was showing, you can have him punch the ground and then the rocks are flying in the air. So yeah. Oh look, this other example here with the colored one, but I think I could do this as well, is you can have like a slashing down motion with a sword, And then there's like the power effect of the slash. So that's kind of cool. So that's you can really play around with this stuff to get the effect you want. So that's kind of fun. Now there's something I'd like to try. Let's see if we can actually pull it off. I'm not 100% sure how this will come off on screen, but it requires me to turn off this light, one of my lights, and hopefully my hand doesn't get scorched by the light bulb. No, it's not that. I want to try and shoot some LED light into this model, and we'll see if we can get some color into this. Let me just tidy up my space here so I'm not like going all crazy with all this crapola. Let's do a little quick tidy up. Tidy up. Got a lot of nubbage that I have to deal with. Let's put this cap on. Okay. So you might notice that it's a little darker right now, but that's because one of my lights is turned off. I swapped out the light bulb, and we're gonna see if we can use a LED light to kind of shoot and refract the light into these pieces and see what it looks like. But first I want to clean up a bit. Clean up. Kind of got a few projects on hand. I feel like I have just enough projects that I'm working on at the moment, and getting any more would probably be bad, but such is the nature of the hobby that you kind of just accumulate a backlog. So we'll see. Okay, how are we doing? All of this? Maybe we can take away the green. Would it be more visible from the green? Let's see. Let us see. Okay, let's turn on this light. And you can kind of see... Hold on. I can probably get this a little closer. It's colored light. Let's see. How close can we get? Just do it a little slowly. Let's see. Okay, let's close the blinds a bit. Yeah, there's a little hint. There's a little hint of color. Of course, the actual camera has a light itself, so it's kind of shining down. I don't know if there's a way to turn that off. But yeah, you can see that. I'll definitely play around with taking some photos so we can really get a good look at the light shooting and shining through it. But that's actually pretty neat already. Let's see. Yeah, I've been playing around with taking photos with my LED light. Oh wow, this is a really bright one. Yeah, see, now it's kind of like a blue tint. And I didn't need to actually paint the model, paint the actual piece. You can just use light to kind of introduce red. Now let's just arrange some of this stuff so we can kind of get a look at how it goes. We'll put one up, standing up, and we'll put this one flat, and we'll put this one like that. Not really arranged in any particular fashion. Put them like that, and then we can actually just experiment and see how these look. Okay, let's see. So this is red. This is like also kind of red. This is more yellow. Let's see, the green really came through. The green really shows up nicely. Maybe because of this, the board itself is green as well. And yeah, I'll definitely take some photos so we can mess around. This is like a more turquoise kind of color. This is like a dark blue. Ooh, purplish. This is blue. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.